Welcome back to Cloud Oasis blog. My name is Hal Yaman and this is part 2 of our Veeam Cloud Connect deployment DR as a service cloudcast. On this session, we will start our Veeam Cloud Connect deployment. But before we jump into the deep water, let's take a look at the virtual infrastructure we will use today. Our virtual infrastructure consists of 3 ESXi hosts, and our service provider subnet will be hosted on the third ESX host. I already prepared 2 VMs where we will use to deploy the Veeam Cloud Connect infrastructure. The first server is the Veeam Cloud Connect server, and it will be used as our Veeam Cloud Connect server. And the second server is the Veeam Cloud Gateway, and as the name suggests, it will be used as the Veeam Cloud Gateway. And to save resources, we will also deploy Veeam Cloud Connect portal on this server. Before I jump to the deployment process, I just wanted to configure the network on this server or prepare the network on this server to host the Veeam Cloud Connect networking. So I will jump to the hosts, configuration, networking. As you can see, we have 2 vSwitches, and all our configuration of the Veeam Cloud Connect will be performed under the virtual switch 1. So all what I need to do at this stage is to create and add a new virtual machine port group, and I will call it Veeam DR as a service and confirm that. This virtual machine port group will be used by the Veeam Cloud Connect to host all the network configuration that we're going to create. Also, all the VMs that will be replicated from the tenant, network appliances, VLANs, everything will be under this virtual machine port group. Finally, the fun part. So let's jump to the Cloud Connect server and start the installation. So connecting first to the cloud server, vCloud server. I already downloaded the Veeam Availability Suite. Yes, there is no different installation for the Cloud Connect. It's the same installation that you will download from the Availability Suite that you download from the Veeam website. The only thing that's going to be changed is the license key. So go ahead and download Veeam Availability Suite or Veeam Backup and Replication, version 9.5, update 1, and let's start. Install. The process is still the same, very easy, straightforward as we expect from Veeam R&D. License agreement, we accept that. For the license key, I already have my license key for a Cloud Connect. Next, we'll choose everything. Next. And basically all the process will be next, next, next. And I will come back when the process will be complete. Okay, the installation process complete now successfully. We will press on finish. We will close this and open the Veeam Backup and Replication console. Okay, there's some component needed to be updated, so we'll apply and finish. Okay, just to make it a little bigger. Now all our configuration today as is a Cloud Connect will be under the Cloud Connect tab. But before we start our configuration for the Cloud Connect, as a normal process, we will browse the backup infrastructure and add the hypervisor based on VMware. Let's add our virtual center. I will use the IP address. Now, if you still remember, in our introduction session, I say that there is no communication between the service provider network and the tenant network. That's still true, except I open one port 443 to communicate from the service provider net subnet to the tenant subnet to communicate with the virtual center. So this is the only port will be open between them, as a virtual center is hosted on the tenant side. Next, by the username and password, as you can see, we're going to use 443 by default. Connect. Let Veeam do some configuration here to add the virtual center. And here we are, virtual center being added. As we go in to deploy a DR as a service, proxies will be needed, but I will keep the default proxy which installed by default with any new installation of Veeam. So I will keep it. So the Veeam Cloud Connect server will be also our proxy. Repositories will be also added by default on the largest volume, in our case S, but today we're not going to use it for a DR as a service. So we will ignore that configuration at this stage. And now we ready to browse the Cloud Connect tab to start the configuration of the Cloud Connect components, starting with certificate. Certificate will be used to encrypt the communication between or secure the communication between the tenant and a cloud gateway. By default, you will be able to use a self-signed certificate, or you will be able to import third-party certificate. I will keep using the existing one. Finish, which is a self-sign. And now I'm ready to add the cloud gateway. Our cloud gateway will be hosted on a different server. In our case, the gateway server. And the name of this server or the IP address will be 192.168.48.11. Provide a username and password. Next. And we're now pushing the installation to that server. Apply. Okay, the Veeam transport service being installed on that remote server or the cloud gateway server. Next, finish, and now we will be able to install the cloud gateway. Our cloud gateway will be sitting behind a NAT. So we're going to choose the NAT configuration here and enter the IP address of the firewall, and then later we will configure the firewall to accept traffic from 6180 port. Next, apply, and our Veeam Cloud gateway is ready for action. Finished. Okay, we have a cloud gateway ready for action, and on the next Cloudcast, we will be talking about the replication resources and tenant. Thank you for being with me on this session, and see you soon.